Hey everybody, this is Jordan here at the Gator Made Factory. Today we're going to be talking about dual tandem gooseneck. I'm going to take you through this entire trailer, and we're going to do it way different than any other video you've ever seen. If you watch people go through these trailers, they start at the front and they talk about has a coupler, 2 jacks, 8 tires, the stuff that every other trailer has. Today I'm going to start off and talk to you about how every Gator Made trailer is a custom trailer due to the safety packages and the standard options we put on them. And then I'm going to show you how your Gator Made sales rep here at the factory will help you equip this trailer. We have different options for the jacks, different options for the axles, different options for the tails and the limbs. We're making these trailers bespoke for you. That's going to make you as successful as possible with whatever it is you're doing. So, you're in the market for a dual tandem gooseneck. The first thing you need to realize is that every Gator Made Elite dual tandem is a custom trailer in its own right. This comes with standard equipment that you'll not find anywhere else in the trailer industry. Between our safety package and our Antiflex technology, this is equipped in a way that they're all ready day one to make you as successful as possible. Our Antiflex system consists of several different things to keep the trailers rigid, which adds life to the trailer, which adds value to you because it works for you longer. This has a 14-inch mainframe with a 5-inch flange that's 22 pound-feet. So we're already starting this trailer with a larger frame than almost everyone else in the industry. But it's not just the beam that ensures your Antiflex system. When you take that beam, we couple it with a 6-inch schedule 40 torque tube that's welded with gussets at each end to help take the twist out of the trailer. And then when we run our cross members through that frame, all of your competitors are going to take that and they're going to heat that up to cut those holes out of that frame. Gator Made is exclusive in the fact that we cold punch these beams. So what we're doing, we're taking that already larger I-beam, we're cold punching it, we're not heating that I-beam up every 16 inches and taking all the tensile strength out of what's most likely a smaller beam than what we're using anyways. So we're keeping all the strength. The torque tube is taken in the spots where the I-beams want to flex. It controls the weight there. When there's downward force, the I-beams, that big, tall 14-inch, that 5-inch flange, are there to ensure that this trailer stays exactly the way it's supposed to be for as long as possible. We've talked about our Antiflex system. That's the backbone of this trailer. That's what makes everything else we're going to talk about in this video worth it. It's what makes this trailer work every day. But what makes this trailer more enjoyable for you to use is the safety package. Steps. Steps are really important. As you see here, I'll show you. You have 2 points of contact. You get a hold of the step. It allows you easy access up on the trailer. You get there, you see what you're doing. When you come down off the trailer, a lot of our competitors are going to have this side saddle step right here. You got to try to find it. You can't see the step, so you're just hunting for it. You're going to hit your shin. You got to try to get off a lot higher. You can see the step you're using. You have 2 points of contact at really ergonomic angles that are easy to grab. And then every time you're using your gooseneck trailer, you're hooking it to your truck. This step gives you a point of contact where you can grab a handle, get to the bed of your truck, and hook up. It makes it so enjoyable to hook and unhook, not having to climb over the bed and everything that if you've ever used a gooseneck, you understand you have to deal with. So the step's a big safety feature. Fire extinguisher, small thing. If you're using this for any kind of DOT stuff, you're going to be required to have that mounted. We mount it for you in a nice convenient place, facing out, so you can always make sure it's charged, everything's good to go, it's quick accessible, it's not hid in a toolbox or something like that. Safety triangles. As a gift on every one of these trailers, inside the toolbox is a set of these safety triangles. They're really nice, all loaded up here, a set of 3. If you're on the side of the road, once again, this is kind of like that being mounted. It's something you have to have to pass inspection, and it's something you're going to want to have if you have an issue if you're on the side of the road, helping someone else on the side of the road, being a good Samaritan. That's just part of how all this works. The safety package makes the trailer enjoyable to use. As we go through this, we're going to compare a couple different trailers. We're going to have them all out here for you to see. When you call into the factory, one of your Gator Made sales reps are going to ask you a lot of questions. They're going to ask you what you're towing it with, what you're doing. They're not just doing that to be nosy. This again is a bespoke trailer for you. Their goal is to make you as successful as possible, and then they're asking you these questions so they can help you get the exact trailer you need. Nothing here today is doctored up. We're out here, it's even raining a little bit. It's not the prettiest day. These haven't been washed down and spit shined and everything. This is real world stuff. We want to show you how we're equipping this trailer, just like you're talking to your sales rep on the phone, to make this trailer exactly what you want. All right, we're talking about equipping your trailers. One of the first things your sales rep here at the factory is going to bring up, jacks. The jacks we have on here are Jost 2-speed 50,000 pound jacks. They're made in America. Gator Made has tried 50 different jack options and nothing works like this does. This is the same exact jack you're going to see on the side of a big 50,000 pound dry van semi trailer rolling down the road. This has 2 speeds. You can see when you have a heavy load, this speed is a little bit slower. It'll lift a tremendous amount of weight. If you want to go a little bit faster, you can go in. That'll pick it up. You'll go a lot faster, a little bit stiffer to crank, but it works really good. We're really happy with these jacks. You can put them between speeds really easy. Your handle swings away nicely right there. Now, just because something is good doesn't mean something else can't be better. All right, on to better. Bigfoot hydraulic jacks. Jost are great, these are better. Several things about this. One, you don't want to crank jacks. Hydraulic jacks just make sense. Push button, up and down. But it's not just that, there's more to it. This is a lockable system. Key there turns it on and off. You take that key out, there's no way to raise it up and down. You're going to have to cut the legs off of it to steal the thing. Makes it much more difficult to steal. When you turn that key on, this pump all goes through one system, so these jacks are completely self-leveling. So no matter where you hook or unhook, you get that clean disconnect from the ball. Sometimes if you've ever used other jacks in rough ground, that can kind of get in a little bit of a bind. The hydraulic jacks make all that simple. It has all the lift capacity that the Jost do, with just a little bit more convenience. All right, we've moved halfway down the trailer here. We're at the midship point. I want to touch back in on that Antiflex system a little bit. The frame is what really is the most important part of all this. That big 14-inch I-beam, just like when I talked about how we cold punched and protected the frame coming through and all the tensile strength, we do the same thing with our gusset work. We're going underneath the I-beam and all the way across to the other side. So if you're loading palatable stuff on this or hay, something like that, and you put a lot of weight on one side, that's using the whole frame strength all the way across. A lot of people's bringing that gusset right into the side of that beam and is trying to torque and twist that beam when you're loaded heavy on one side. So like I said, we're using the larger beam, but we're doing all this heavy engineering work to protect that I-beam so it lasts a long time and it does its job the best. Here at the midship point, we get back onto how we're equipping these trailers. One of the most important things is going to be axles and suspension. The suspension we have here is the HDSS. It's a 44,000 pound suspension regardless of what dual tandem axle you're getting. If these right here are 10Ks, if you call in and you want a 44K for like a big pintle trailer pulled behind a dump truck, same suspension. It's million mile, it's indestructible, it's adjustable, it's easy to use, it works every time. It works great for us in manufacturing. We put it on everything. We love HDSS. A lot of the axles we're going to talk about here, you can also do them in an air ride setup. We use a Dexter air ride. It's completely self-contained, really neat and clean. And if that's something you're looking for, talk to your sales rep. The lowest axle we use on here is this 10,000 pound axle. These are all Dexter axles. Dexter's super important to us. We love that we partner with them. We've tried a lot of other different brands. Nothing compares to Dexter. When the service and the different axles they provide us give you exactly what you need, and they continue to give you what you need after the sale. No one does service like Dexter. We think they do a great job. We love working with them. We offer disc and drum in both our 10 and 12,000 pound axle options. So this right here is a 10,000 pound drum. You can get the disc in the drum, the disc in the 10 or 12,000 pound axles. Disc is an amazing option. It's becoming way more popular. That was probably 10% of the business a couple years ago, and it's really quickly pushing up to half the business now. We done some testing a while back, myself personally. I put 17,000 pounds of cinder blocks, the big scrap concrete blocks on top of this trailer, and I took out a drum and a disc. I was going from, with no truck brakes, from 55 mile an hour down to like 20 mile an hour is the test I was running just using the brake box. With drums, that was taking somewhere around 45 seconds. With disc, it was cutting it sub 10 seconds with a disc brake. Just that, it was stopping a big truck, a big Kodiak, red Chevy truck you see in our videos, the trailer and the 17,000 pounds, all on its own without any assistance from the truck in a third the time that the drum will. The drums are great, people use them for a long time, but the disc has just got the more power, it's got the more reliability. Those drums constantly get weaker as you use them. Disc is superior in that way. And then the disc are really the more valuable axle, because when it comes time to do a brake job on them, 2 or 3 brake jobs and you've paid for the axles just in how much cheaper and quicker it is to do the brake jobs on these trailers. Disc is the way to go every time, and we just really enjoy it. We also offer a 16,000 pound disc brake axle. Like I said earlier about the suspension, you can get that 16,000 pounder in the disc, and you can get it with the air ride equipped on it. If you need the air ride on these 12s, we can do 12s as well with the air ride. So I threw a lot of stuff at you here, but your sales rep here at the factory is going to talk to you, go through these axle options with you and what their GVWs are, what's going to work for you and your tow vehicle, and what you're planning to haul. Ramps and dovetail. It's going to be the last thing we're going to talk to you about when we're talking about equipping these trailers. We got a couple different options, and this is going to be the most important one we talk about with you. When I talk about your sales rep here at the factory asking a lot of questions, we're trying to figure out what's the best and safest way to get whatever it is you need to move up onto the trailer. This right here is our 40-inch wide ramps. They're tried and true. Gatormade pioneered the wide ramp system. Before Gatormade, everything was straight freight decks with the pull-out ramps that are horrible and dangerous. And then you had the two narrow ramps with the pop-up center trying to fill in this gap. We figured this out. People have made a lot of different copies, but no one's quite got it the way we have it. So, two 40-inch ramps. We've got the big latch there. That holds that down tight so nothing can rattle. We spring this trailer a couple different ways. The ramp, as you see, gets sprung from the bed up to there, but then it's also sprung right here on the way down to the ground. Do you see how smooth that is when you let it down? No one quite has that way with the ergonomics, the big handle, and the springs to make it that easy. This is a 30,000 pound ramp set. We do a few things different. We have a 2x3 cleat here instead of a 2x2 cleat. A lot of people use that. Not only is that a little bit more substantial piece of material to keep from bending, but that gives you a steeper angle on this side for tracked equipment, things like that to grab and pull themselves up onto the trailer. Then we do two supports up the center. A lot of people have a single support in their wide ramp system. What that does is that right here is where most of your wider equipment's going to hit. So it's taking that smaller cleat with nothing underneath it to support it, and you see a lot of those bend out. It's kind of like the I-beam frame. We use something a little bit bigger, we support it a little bit better, and it simply lasts longer. Pretty simple. Then you can see how easy this is. One hand. Put that down. It's fully weight rated, the same as the entire trailer. Like I said, we didn't doctor these up. These are real trailers pulled off the lot. You also have the stand-up bar over there. It's mounted neatly on the side, but you can stand these up if you need to. You got something just a little bit longer coming back here. Like with the Josh Jacks, just because something's good, don't mean it can't be better. Hydraulic dovetail. The wide ramps are good. This is just a little bit better. This is the last thing we're going to talk to you about when we're talking about equipping the trailer. You have the same load and approach angle as you did with the wide ramps. You had 5 foot of dove, 5 foot of ramp. This is one 10-foot continuous. What this is what I like to call the ultimate problem solver. No matter how difficult or something is you have to load, this usually will take care of all the little minute stuff that goes with it. First, I want to demo how it works. One, there's no pins or levers on our hydraulic dovetail system. A lot of people have something you have to pull to unlatch this and unlock it. It just causes things to bind up, and it's more for you to have to do. That little click there tells you it's ready to go back down. But that also means you can't use a hydraulic dovetail with the wireless remote accurately. If you have to have those pins and levers, ours, you can be inside the cab the whole time, load, unload, everything can be done from the wireless remote. Now, you're ready to go down, but this will also go higher to back into a loading dock or anything like that you need to do to use this trailer. As you can see right now how quiet it's going down, I'm using the gravity down feature. So if you're having to use this several times in a day, what that'll do is protect your battery, but you also have full power down as well. Now that power down is going to do a few things for you. Not only does it kind of speed this up and force it down, and in cold weather, hydraulics don't want to move good. This has enough throw, not just like the up, but also the down. That click you hear was the system reset. But what you can do here, let's get this down. Come up here. There we go. We're off the ground. You can see everything's spinning. If you're on the side of the road, blow a tire, that's the quickest way to get that up. It's super stable. You can do whatever you need to do right there on the side of the road or in your own shop. Now, the other parts of the problem solving for us. As you come up here, whether you have something that's really low traction, that's spinning and can't get up here, like say like sky lifts, forklifts, which we do have a wood filled option as well, you can get it up on here, raise this level, drive on flat. Say you have something with a real low belly that can't quite make the breakover angle, drive up on here, raise it up, go on flat. This helps with a lot of different things. And not only does it make certain things possible to load, even if you don't need it, it's really nice. If you've loaded heavy equipment, you've pulled up on something like this, and everything in the front tries to buck and move, you have none of that here. You can load this without even being hooked to the truck. Where you make contact with the ground, this is super smooth. You feel so much better in the seat. Anyone that loads heavy equipment knows what I'm talking about. This gets rid of all of it. It's one of the reasons that I like making videos with them more than anything. Now, we went over a lot of stuff. What I've talked to you about is how we equip these trailers. There's still a ton more options to go over. Talk to your salesman about everything from tires to ratchets to go underneath it, a winch for the front, all kinds of stuff. We have things to make this trailer more enjoyable for you. Between the jacks, the axles, and the tail, this is just the base of how you equip this trailer to make it right for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it cuts out a lot of research for you. It makes everything you need to look at a little bit easier to find, and you're a little bit more prepared when you talk to your sales rep. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate it.